Hey man,
Hey George, how are you?
good. How are you?
Good, good.
I'm mostly just listening in on this one.
Yeah.
I don't really, I don't really drive any feature development. So,
I don't know, community features.
yeah, I just had a great call with Ilya and this guy Ivan, and for the office hours, like, there's just this hugely underserved market in Europe because like
Oh yeah.
everything is so West Coast oriented. So I think they can get me like a ton of volunteers. We could just do European stuff,
That would be
just right off the
fantastic.
bat and be flooded with users. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Well, once my schedule settles down again, I'm happy to help with that stuff because I'm on East Coast. So
Yeah, exactly. Because that the East Coast is actually perfect for that because if there's a West Coast or European, we're always in the middle. So,
yep.
we can help facilitate hosting and
Where are you at again?
Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor, okay.
Yep.
You're really not that far away. I keep on every time you say that, it's like, oh man, you guys, you're like you're really not that far away.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I remember I was going to have you come talk to our Kubernetes meetup at some point.
Yeah, definitely. I still want to do that.
Alrighty. I'm going to mute and hang out in the background here.
Alrighty.
Hello, folks.
Good morning.
Morning, Ihor. Suppose we can wait as usual up to 5 minutes before we'll start. Other people will join us. I'll propose to start the meeting now. So, do we have any volunteers for notes? Jason, probably you as usual.
Yep, I am on it.
Okay, perfect. So our meeting is already recorded. Today is July 25th, and this is the weekly SIG PM meeting. Last one was cancelled due to overlap with the CNCF meeting. So today we have our meeting first time during the last few weeks, and it's the first meeting during the Kubernetes 1.8 iteration. And today we have also features freeze, and I suppose that will be one of the most important items to discuss today. Looking at our agenda, I can notice that we have agreed with Don Chen to share the demo, but I don't see Don here. Is Don here? No, she's not here. So let's speak with her to move this presentation to the next meeting. We also don't have any scheduled demos for today. So I hope that starting from the next meeting, we'll have also demos of the new features that are going to be landed with Kubernetes 1.8. And we have several announcements. So yeah, the major announcement, as I told before, we have features freeze today, and I'd like today to spend some time with grooming our backlog with the feature owners. We also have 1.8 release team identified, and we have also several representatives here on the call. Jason is here, Caleb and others. And yeah, anything else to add, Jace, Caleb?
I wanted to introduce Swarna because she is going to be a very important link between the PM group and the release as far as marketing and helping coordinate all that communication and blog posts and all that. So basically, she'll be the right hand of SIG product management to do all that work. So I just wanted to take a second to introduce her and thank her for volunteering for that new role as we define it. Do you have anything you want to add, Swarna? Okay. Yeah, that's it. And I think a big part of my hope in this release is to continue the learning process and documentation and make this an even better release for the next person that does this.
Yeah, perfect. I also noticed that there is a link to release Kanban board. Can you describe us in 2 words about it, Jason? I suppose
Sure.
you've been the person who created it.
Yeah, so I've managed a lot of large multi-team release in the past, and basically having a top-level Kanban board seems to help organize the view of the release really well. And essentially what I want to do is make sure that any issues that come up during the release are visible there. And so if people want to get a snapshot of where the release is at, they can simply go to that one link and see. It is a little bit different organization than most Kanban boards. It has a couple of things that are unusual, like the waiting column. And sometimes that's when we have a release activity that, let's say we have a P0 for a blocking test that isn't fixed, we can put that into the waiting column because it's being worked on, but it's not being tracked, is being done at the moment. So really these are for top level, program level type milestones and not necessarily individual tasks. Individual tasks will still be managed under the release milestones in PRs and issues. But these are really, if you want to see what the overall release activity looks like, that's where it's at.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Jace. Any other updates in terms of Kubernetes 1.8, like general updates not directly related to the features? Cool. So let's move forward with the Kubernetes 1.8 features that we have at the moment. And before we'll start, I'd like to check who are the SIG representatives currently present here at the call, the PM representatives.
This is Dan. I'm with SIG Apps.
Mm-hmm.
Chris from SIG Network.
Cool.
Doug from
SIG
Service
Storage.
Catalog.
Okay.
Bob, SIG Scalability.
And
Perfect.
Ihor, I'll be representing SIG Azure. We actually have one feature that I just got spec'd out with my team yesterday, so we need to get that into the features repo today. But I can speak.
Perfect. Perfect. I see also Caleb is present on a call, so probably Caleb will represent SIG Node as usual. Caleb is silent, but okay. So yeah, let's start with, first of all, I have created as usual the features tracking spreadsheet with the actual issues, with the actual features from the features repo. Today we have 27 features for that are labeled with 1.8 milestone. Yes, so I'm sharing now my screen, and you can see all of them here. So there are also lots of features that are not labeled with 1.8 milestone, but they can be labeled with 1.7 on next milestone. So let's start from them, and let's start from SIG Apps. Probably we have any updates from Dan again in the SIG Apps features for this release. We have 11 features that are labeled with next milestones, so probably they can target 1.8 as well. So,
Yeah, so out of that list, the main thing that we're trying to do for 1.8 and 1.9 is take 4 areas, which is stateful sets, daemon sets, deployments, and replica sets, and get those from beta to GA. So the goal is to get them into GA in 1.9 and go part of that way in 1.8. So I think that's essentially what we're adding, what we wanted to create for all of these. Defer containers is primarily getting approval. So it's still working, primarily taking the lead on that, and it's to get approval so that he can actually build that in 1.9 as well to get the initial release of that out. The other thing is that I'm not sure if it's on this list is cron jobs. Getting cron jobs from alpha to beta is the other sort of primary task that we're working on. So in terms of like the list here, I'll get the ones that we need as tagged as 1.8, and I'll make sure that those are tagged, because I mean, you're right in that these are next version ones, and I just want to make sure, and I'll do that today just to make sure that these are correct for what we want to do in SIG apps. But the main things that we're trying to do are getting those four on the path to GA, cron jobs, and defer containers. And then there's ongoing work with like with Helm as well.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and speaking about 1.8 milestone, we have 5 open features for SIG apps. So any updates or comments on this? Besides that you have described for us, so some federated features and so on.
Yeah, let me take a look at the federated stateful sets features, because I need to reach out to Dilip, because that didn't come up in our planning yesterday. So I'll see what that is.
Yeah, that's the feature that has been actually targeted for 1.7, but it has been postponed for 1.8. And also, I haven't noticed any updates from the feature owners regarding it, so probably it shouldn't also land in 1.8, but I have labeled it with 1.8 as mentioned in their discussion thread.
Yeah, is this I know that it's tagged with SIG apps, but like, is there a SIG federation still? And because like, I mean, other than Dilip with Huawei, the other sort of members of this thread have not been that active in SIG apps. So I don't know if they've been providing updates maybe in another SIG or something like that.
Well, SIG Federation is still active.
Okay.
But if you feel that SIG apps shouldn't be responsible for this feature, we can leave this feature only labeled with SIG Federation.
I mean, I think we're probably playing more of a support role in this one, like as opposed to like leading the development on this. But I don't mind leaving it on, because we can definitely like help and support if that is. But if we're expected to sort of lead and build this, I just haven't heard a lot of details on this one, so it hasn't come up that much in our meetings. But that was the only reason I was a little bit confused on that.
I get it. So let me remove SIG apps from here as you hold in like the supporting role, and let's keep SIG Federation as the primary responsible SIG for delivering this as the new feature in terms of development.
Sure. Okay.
Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, the failure policy for jobs is really one of the things that was holding this up from getting from alpha to beta. So that's part of cron jobs going to beta, and then I think we're okay. Yeah, I'll check out
what about federated jobs feature?
Yeah,
I'm not probably has the same situation as the previous one.
I think it does. I think I would look at, like, if it's primarily like Madhu and Christian and sort of those guys building this, then it probably is more of a SIG Federation thing.
Okay, I'll do the same. Just to avoid any kind of confusion and not request updates from SIG apps anymore.
All right. Thanks, Ihor.
Okay, so that's all from SIG apps, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move forward. We have SIG networking, right? Here.
Yep.
We have SIG networking, we have Chris, and we have only one feature.
Which one is current? Yeah. So IPVS is
marked for an alpha release. This is adding in basically a new type of kube proxy in addition to the user space and the IP tables one. Promises a lot more scalability in terms of number of services that it'll allow you to open, since that seems to be one of the big bottlenecks now in the kube proxy. But there's a couple others that will be added. I'm just trying to pull up our feature planning thing here.
By the way, the question regarding the previous feature about IPv6-based load balancing, it's described as alpha for 1.7. It's targeted as alpha for 1.8, right? I'm speaking about
the
description
development started around the 1.7 time, but it never was fully reviewed.
Okay, I'll update this description. Okay, so we have also one feature under next milestone, what lookout for services.
It's something that the owner would like to have go into this release, but so far we don't have a clear owner for it yet. So I hesitate to confirm it's going into 1.8 without more feedback. We have it kind of listed as like a third priority type of thing.
Okay.
The other confirmed features are network policy egress going to beta, as well as network policy CIDR going to beta, but features haven't been filled out for those. I can fill those out today.
Okay. So that's all from SIG Network, right?
Yes, the rest of the stuff is basically just some cleanup stuff that aren't really features.
Okay. We also have Doc from Service Catalog. I don't remember if we have any features for Service Catalog this time.
No, we don't have any features. I just thought I'd mention that we may try for 1.8 to move the pod preset stuff out from under core over to Service Catalog repo and redesign it so it's an initializer instead of a admission controller. But that's not necessarily a feature, but that's one thing I can think of worth mentioning.
Okay, we have pod preset mentioned as a feature and tracked as a feature under the features repo. I suppose you can update also the feature description with the news from you about moving out of core and so on.
Yeah, I'll try to make a comment about that in there.
Okay, perfect.
What was the number again?
We also sorry.
What was the number on that 162?
It is 162.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all from Service Catalog, right?
Yep.
And yeah, we have also SIG Scale, Bob.
Yeah, I'm on the road, so I dialed in, but I'm not actually where I can. I'm not actually where I can see. I'm not actually where I can see the sheet right now. I think within the SIG scalability group, the main thing that we've been putting energy into is rework of the events, which is kind of going to be a pretty wide project impacting thing, but I don't believe there's going to be any of that's going to land in 1.8. It's going to be all 1.9 work.
Okay, so you don't have any like big plans for 1.8 in terms of features, right?
No, but I'll double check. I'll double check what's been tagged just to make sure we're in good shape on that front.
Okay, perfect. So if you have any features for 1.8, please fill them until the before the end of the day. So we'll have them on track.
Great.
Yeah, thank you. And we have only Jason from SIG Azure left here. I don't remember any features for SIG Azure tracked under the features repo, but probably Jason, you have any further updates?
Yeah, not yet. Basically it's a really small thing. It's a Azure Key Vault integration, essentially, so you can get certificates from Key Vault. But I need to write that issue today, and I'm actually going to work on that after this meeting, so I'll get that to you today.
Okay, perfect. Sounds great. Yeah, that's all from the SIG representatives, I suppose. I also don't have any other updates in terms of the features. So please, yep.
You can do SIG storage.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
No worries.
Let me show.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see.
Would you like to go one by one, or would you like to describe the scope of the features in general?
Yeah, okay. So there's some of these here actually we'll probably want to get rid of. For example, we've decided that we used to support 2 models for volume plugins. One was in tree and one was via Flex, and Flex is in alpha right now. And so most people opted to put volume plugins in tree. In 1.8, we've kind of drawn the line and said, well, we're working on a new container storage kind of interface called CSI, and we're not going to allow any more volumes to go in tree. So we're going to be working on generally making the flex volume kind of story a little bit better. And as a result, things like the Nutanix volume plugin, the Rook volume plugin, those are actually going to move out of tree, and they're going to be flex volumes. And so actually those should be removed. I'll talk to the SIG to make sure that gets done, and I'll just do it myself. The other thing we're doing is we're adding kind of more local storage-like stuff. So you'll see some things around that in there. We're working on snapshots, and I'm trying to think what else. Some more PVC stuff. So you should set dynamic PVC things. So if you do a resize, the PVC actually, the object has to be able to support showing the new size and things like that. And then moving some things to GA, so things like containerized mounts. Let's see what else. Storage classes. So what we've found is that there are parameters that you might want to let the user of the storage class to consume. And so rather than having different storage classes for each set of parameters, we can have kind of pass-through that can be configured by the cluster administrator to allow certain storage class parameters to be modified. A lot of these things are new, so they're going to be in alpha, especially the ones that are kind of, super, like the one I just mentioned would be super new, and so it would just be an alpha. And I'm trying to think what else. There were some for the next milestone that I think, yeah, I looked at these. So I think all 3 of these, with the exception of the second one, I need to check on that one, might be out of scope for 1.8. So the resize is not even supported in tree, and so I think Flex would follow later for that one for sure. And the out of tree volume plugins is a long running task. I don't think we have any deliverable other than in design and maybe some proof of concept work for 1.8. So nothing that really we should be putting in 1.8 there.
You have mentioned that you are not going to accept any new volumes for 1.8, so they will move to CSI.
They won't move to CSI because we don't have that ready yet, but they'll move to this Flex volume plugin thing. Okay. Yeah, so we're trying to improve that whole deployment mechanism. It's kind of messy right now, so if you have a Flex volume, what it really is binary or set of binaries you install on a machine, and you have to do it for every node and every master, and we're trying to improve that so that you can kind of get a package or maybe like a little container that you can pull down, and it'll automatically populate the nodes for you. And so we're trying to make that whole deployment a lot better.
Okay, So anything else about from SIG storage?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. So any other SIGs that would like to represent any features today?
I can do SIG node if Caleb had to drop.
I'm here. Yeah, you can do SIG node, but we don't have much in the features repo yet, because at least according to the schedule, feature freeze is next Tuesday, the 1st of August. But we can go over like the themes, unless you've got the external feature spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
The just themes are, I guess the high level are, we're going to be improving node performance and reliability. So that's going to be improvements to the node problem detector, some startup time profiling, node checkpointing, hopefully. There's going to be features for multi-tenancy, themes around improving the seccomp experience, improving the usability of pod security. There's going to be more work on the container D integration. So that's runtime portability, and also more Docker validation. Hopefully, we'll finish the 1.13, and maybe someone from the community will contribute some of the more recent Docker versions. And there's going to be the stuff hopefully coming out of the research management work group. Better pod eviction algorithms and CPU pitting, huge page support. I think that's the themes as far as I see them or have seen them.
Okay. By the way, Caleb has mentioned that the features freeze on August 1st. My apologies. So today is not August 1st. Today is July 25th, but I have mentioned at the beginning of the call that today is features freeze. So I'm sorry about that. You have one more week to fill your issues at the features repo. I'm sorry about that. I've been thinking that today is August 1st.
You had me fooled, Igor, for sure.
Yeah, sorry about that. I've been living like in 1 week ahead. Okay, so anything else from any other SIGs? No? Cool. So we don't have any other updates in any other items in agenda today. Anything to discuss right now? Okay, so thank you for joining us today. Don't forget that the features freeze is coming next week, not this week. And see you in 2 weeks on the next SIG PM meeting. Thank you.
Thanks, Igor. Have a great day.
Thanks, Ihor.